Hey, happy Thursday. In my opinion, there are two types of people in the world. There are planners, and there are people that wing it and just go with the flow. So which one are you? Let me know in the comments. Do you like to plan every detail? Are you prepared for everything? Or are you spontaneous, just roll with the punches, whatever happens, happens? Me, I'm a planner, like to the max, the worst kind. I like to plan every detail. I like to have lists. I like to be prepared. I always pack extra stuff when I'm going somewhere, take too many things because you never know what might happen. And I want to be ready and prepared. And if I've got a plan in place, it'll all be good, right? Until sometimes your plan doesn't work out the way you thought. Who's ever had that happen? Hello, everybody. Plans don't always work. We make them, but that's not necessarily the way life's going to play out. So today we're going to have story time about when some of those plans didn't work out. I need to give you a little bit of background information though. I am formerly a runner. I used to do Spartan races. I did CrossFit. I was in the best shape of my life. And then, in the craziest way you could ever imagine, I tore my ACL. That's another story for another time. I'll have to tell you guys that one soon. But all of this to let you know that currently I am not in the best shape of my life. I have not worked out in a long time. I've been trying to get back on the exercise wagon and I've been doing some walking. But overall, physically, I am not my thinnest or healthiest or most in shape that I've ever been. So have that image in your mind as I'm preparing you for this story. So about 2 weeks ago, I was diagnosed with strep throat and tonsillitis, got on medicines while we were also, I was recovering from a sprained ankle, and we were preparing to go on a trip to Boston. I was flying with my mom, who is battling pancreatic cancer, and my 5-year-old son. So that puts me as like the one in charge of this whole thing, you know? So me being a planner, I've got my plan where everything's going to work out exactly like we need it to, right? That's not how life happens. So we're flying to Boston. We get on our first plane. Everything goes smoothly. Everything's all good. And then we have our connection in Detroit in a very large airport where we get off of one plane at one end of the airport and our next one's at the other, because that's always how it goes, right? Like they're never beside each other, ever. That's not how it works at airports. They don't plan it that way. So with my mom's condition, it's hard for her to walk long distances. So when we're in airports, we get a wheelchair and a pusher. So we can get to our spot quickly and it just makes life a whole lot easier. So we get off the first airplane and we're waiting for our pusher. 2 different people come by and they're like, oh, you've got plenty of time. It's okay. We're not your pusher, but a pusher's on the way. So we're waiting and waiting. And as luck would have it, my 5-year-old says, Mommy, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, well, can you wait till we get to the plane? He's like, no, I don't think I can wait. And it's number 2. Of course it is. So I'm standing here right across from the bathroom, looking at the bathroom, waiting for a pusher, knowing that our time is counting down. When we got off the plane, we had like 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And at this point, we've got like 10-ish. So I'm like, oh Lord, can you wait? And he's like, I don't think I can. And he's 5. So I'm like, oh. And I mean, y'all, he's got pretty good bathroom skills. Like he can get in and out. So I'm like, okay, we can go fast, because I don't know by the time we get on the plane if we're going to have to immediately sit down and he's not going to have time to go on the plane either. And I'm like, I can't risk him having an accident. I don't have extra clothes. We can do this. So I leave my mom there. I'm like, if they come, tell him to wait. It'll be 1 second. We run in the bathroom. It was a false alarm. He only had to do number 1. We went to the bathroom, washed our hands, get out there, and the pusher's there. Mom's like, he wanted me to leave you. I'm like, oh, I'm glad you didn't. I don't know about my way around the airport. That's the other good thing about a pusher. They know where we're going. So I don't have to like stop and look and navigate. I just follow them. So he's like, we got to go fast. I'm like, okay. So we start walking. He's like, no, we really got to go fast. So I pick up Tristan. So I scoop up my 5-year-old. He's a small 5-year-old, but he's, you know, a good 35, 36 pounds. And he's got his backpack on and I've got my backpack on. And we're going and we're going. Keep in mind, I'm recovering from strep throat and tonsillitis. Like I can't breathe as it is. And finally, the pusher looks at me and he says, we're going to have to run. Now, mind you, It might look like I have on athletic shoes, but let's be real, y'all. These shoes were for fashion. They are not athletic shoes. They look like it, but remember, I'm not working out lately. I'm not in great shape. This is not how I planned. I did not wake up planning to run in the airport. More or less run holding my child with a backpack. Hey, Leslie, thank y'all for hopping on. I hope you enjoy this crazy story. So I had not planned on running that morning. So these shoes, they're even the kind of shoes, you know, the ones that have almost like they're like slick on the bottom a little bit, almost like a felt. So like you have to be really careful, but I'm like, okay, we'll run, because the last thing I wanted to do is miss a plane and try to reschedule all three of us together on a plane to get to Boston that night. So here we go running. I mean, we are those crazy people that you see run through the airport. Like, think of like Home Alone, you know, the whole family's like sprinting to the plane. Yeah, that was us. Child in arms, backpack on, non-athletic shoes, running. People probably said extra prayers for me that night. Finally, my poor mom was like, can I just put Tristan in my lap and us push him and you run? And the guy's like, sure, if that'll make you go faster. I'm like, yeah, it'll make me go faster. So we put Tristan in mom's lap. Here we go, running again. Finally, we get to a point where we can get on a train. And when we get on the train, I'm like, like cannot breathe. And he's like, we don't have to run anymore. I'm like, well, praise the Lord. I don't think I could do it. We got on the plane. We made it, like barely. Like we're putting in, you know, clicking our seatbelts, and they're starting to get everything ready. So we made it. I don't think I could breathe normally. Seriously, my throat was on fire and I could not catch my breath. It's almost like what I would imagine people with asthma trying to breathe felt like I could not breathe in deep for probably a good 30 to 45 minutes. But we got on the plane. So all of this story, I hope you find it humorous, but is to remind you that, especially if you're a planner in life, when we plan and things don't go as planned, if it's something that you can't change and you can't control, you got to learn how to adapt. You got to roll with it, go with it, roll with the punches, just go with it and make the best of it, because if not, you might miss your plane. So, hope you guys enjoyed that story and take that little piece of information into the weekend and into your life. And remember, you can be a planner, but just roll with the punches and go with it when life does not go as planned. See you guys.